Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Courtney Ryan, and your success is often hidden in your daily routine. So like I've mentioned before on this channel, it's important to figure out if you have a bad habit, get a grip on it, and get rid of it. So today I'm going to be talking all about unattractive habits that you might be doing that you might not even realize you're doing. So these aren't all necessarily things that are physically unattractive, but more so unattractive on the inside, which I think is actually more of a problem that most people deal with. So be sure to stick around until the very end to make sure you aren't doing any of these things. So number one, we have being judgmental. And if you're someone that's constantly worried about what everyone else is doing instead of just worrying about what you should be doing, this is super unattractive and a huge turnoff, not just for women, but just in general. Think about a girl that does nothing but say mean things, talk bad about people, and gossip. It's really unattractive, and the same thing goes for men. So honestly, this is just a sign of a ton of insecurity in yourself, because often we project our insecurities onto other people. So if you're constantly just being negative and saying mean things about others, this is not a good sign, and it's not a sign that you have any sort of comfort or confidence in yourself. So these are the guys that say, well, he only has that girl because he has money, or he only looks like that because he's on steroids. Okay, so what if he is? What if he's not? Who cares? It doesn't really matter what that guy is doing because it doesn't affect you and what you should be doing. So focus more on what you should be accomplishing and what you need to get done rather than judging someone else for what they're doing or how they got there. I think this is often a way that people make excuses for themselves as well for the reasons that they can't accomplish something by trying to tear other people down or diminish someone else's accomplishments. And at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter how or why someone else did something, they still did it. So you're only holding yourself back by giving yourself those excuses of, well, he only did this because, or she only did that because, or he only looks like that because. It doesn't matter. It's just gonna hold you back. And I promise you, the moment you start focusing solely on yourself and what you're doing and where you need to be going and what you need to be doing, and stop worrying about what everyone else is doing, you will be a million times happier, more comfortable, and more confident in yourself. So that leads me into my next point, number two, which is negativity. So if you're someone that's constantly focusing on the negatives in life rather than the positives, this is going to do nothing but hurt you in the long run because you're just gonna go into everything that you do with a negative mindset. Life really is all about how we react and respond to situations and things that happen to us. So even though the things that happen to us are most of the time out of our control, you can control the way that you respond and react to it. So if you're going to respond and react with positivity instead of negativity, it's going to do a lot better things for you and you're going to feel a lot better. But if you approach everything that happens to you with a very negative mindset, this is the woe is me person, the pity party guy, you're not gonna get anywhere because you're gonna constantly just be wallowing in your own self-pity. So it's important that if you fall down, you get back up and you look at things in a positive light. Life is not perfect and things happen that we maybe didn't foresee happening. Bad things happen and I totally understand, and it's okay to have a bad day or even a bad week or just a bad time in general, but making the best of situations and trying to be positive about it will do so much for your life, your mindset, and just all around you in general. And honestly guys, it's just a real bummer to be around someone that is negative all the time. Think about someone in your life that is just negative, complaining, constantly in a bad mood. It's kind of a real bummer to be around that person. So I think as humans, we're naturally attracted to people that are positive, that have a happier mindset. So keep this in mind. Number three, we have big spending, and more specifically here, spending money that you don't have. So one of the most unattractive things is a guy that is spending a ton of money that he doesn't have. So you're $50,000 in student loan debt, but you just bought a brand new BMW. Oh, this just shows that you are incredibly financially irresponsible, which no woman wants to be with someone like that. It might seem like you have everything on the outside, but if you're constantly buying a ton of stuff and you can't actually afford it, this is really worrisome, and honestly, I would not want to be with a guy like that. And a guy that's buying things he can't afford is normally buying things to show off. It's a really good sign when a guy is financially responsible. As a woman, I think it just makes us feel a lot more secure. I personally can and support myself 100%, but I wouldn't want to be married to someone that is just blowing all of our money the same way that you wouldn't want to be married to a gold digger or date a gold digger. You guys talk about that all the time, and it's the same thing, and a lot of guys do this. It's really important to not spend a ton of money that you don't have. If you're about to buy something that you cannot afford, I highly recommend looking up Dave Ramsey on YouTube and watching some of his videos, because I guarantee after you watch them, you will no longer want to make that purchase. Number 4, we have neglecting yourself, and this is a really big one. I talk about it a lot on my channel, and so many different things honestly fall into this category. This is not working out, not taking care of your physical well-being, not taking care of your mental health, just really letting yourself go. I mean, there are so many things that fall under this one, but it's important to take care of yourself so that you can be the best version of yourself that you can possibly be. And I know I say that all the time, but that really is the point of my channel. I don't want this just to be a superficial, shallow kind of thing where you guys are constantly focusing on what's on the outside and not what's on the inside too. So your mental health is just as important, actually way more important than the way that you look on the outside. So if you're taking care of anything, it should be that. So don't let yourself go. Go to the gym or go for a run, go to therapy if you need it, take a shower, brush your teeth, get a haircut, just really take care of yourself in every aspect. I promise you, your life will improve greatly if you start doing those things if you are not already. Number 5, we have drinking / smoking. And I want to point out here before I even jump into this one that these are unattractive habits on this list. So if you're drinking and smoking just socially or every now and then, and it's not a habit for you, then I think it can be okay. This is more so when you notice that it turns into something that you cannot live without, that your life revolves around it, it becomes part of your identity, and it becomes a bad habit. These are just things that are a really bad habit. They're very addictive, and they will absolutely destroy and control your life if you let it. And the reason I feel so strongly about this one is because I watched someone very close to me that I love very much almost ruin their entire life over an alcohol addiction. So not only can these things be pretty bad for your mental health, but like I said, they can also take a toll on you physically. So smoking makes your teeth yellow, it makes your breath stink. Both drinking and smoking make you age faster, they make you wrinkly, they just really don't make you look good. Have you guys ever seen those like mugshot time-lapse things where they show a person what they looked like before they started doing all the drugs and alcohol, and then after like their 10th mugshot? It's crazy to look back at the first photo and think, oh my God, that is the same person. It is insane the way that substances can affect the way that you look physically. So I would highly recommend avoiding these. If you're someone with a very addictive personality, this is just not a good thing to do. These can be fun things too, so I totally get it. But like I said, if you notice it's becoming a problem, it's becoming part of your identity, and your life is starting to revolve around it, it's time to get rid of these. Number 6, we have hitting the snooze button. So in my last video, I talked about how amazing it can be if you just wake up a little bit earlier. So quite the opposite, if you're someone that keeps hitting the snooze button a million times in the morning, you aren't getting up, you're running late to everything, you're procrastinating, you're just living your life in constant chaos, this is a really unattractive daily habit to have. So sleep is important, and a lack of it can really mess with your brain, but hitting the snooze button 10 times in the morning and running late to things is not the move. So it's insane what just waking up a couple minutes early can do for your morning routine. So for someone that has not done this already, I highly recommend starting. It can make a huge difference. Sleeping your day away is never an attractive thing either. Unless you're someone that's working a night shift and you have to sleep during the day, you should not be sleeping the entire day and wasting your entire day sleeping. And number 7, last on my list, we have being messy. So I'm not saying that your apartment or your house needs to look like an interior designer came in and designed the whole thing and you have a cleaning service that cleans for you every single day. Props to you if that's the case. It's super sexy when a guy takes care of his place and makes it look nice, but to be realistic, that's not most of us. So as long as you're picking up after yourself, cleaning up after yourself, and keeping things fairly tidy, you're gonna be good to go. A guy or girl that is living in filth is not attractive to anybody, and you shouldn't even want to live that way for yourself, let alone have another person come in your space and experience that too. So I think this one definitely affects you more than it affects anybody else, but it's important to take care of your space and take care of yourself. You will feel so much better if you start to clean up, keep things organized and tidy. It really does just kind of clear your head also. I notice if I let things get a little bit messy, which I normally don't, it's normally not me that makes the mess, If things get a little bit messy around where I live, I have a very hard time focusing and being productive because I'm seeing all these other things that need done. So if you get all your little house chores done, you clean up after yourself, it's a lot easier to focus on what you're supposed to be doing. So don't leave dirty dishes in the sink, and please guys, put your dirty laundry in the basket instead of on the floor. All the ladies in your life will thank you, I promise. So guys, that is all I have for 7 unattractive daily habits. I hope you all found this helpful. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for when I release new content. Also, be sure to follow me on Instagram at CourtneyChristineRyan. I love connecting with all of you guys on there as well. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.